begin to tune into your breath if you haven't already, and notice that there are inhales, there are exhales. There is movement, there is sound as you breathe. Nourishment, energy. Also some release, some letting go. And you might have been favoring whether inhale or exhale a little bit more in these first more intentional breaths. Notice that. And then begin to even inhales and exhales out, make them a similar length. And if it's helpful to add a count to that, you could do a count, maybe 3 or 4 for your inhale and the same count for your exhales. And then you might begin to invite a slight pause between inhale and exhale. And a slight pause between exhale and inhale. And without straining or efforting too much, you might begin to lengthen that pause and maybe even make that pause the same length as your inhales and your exhales. So if you were adding a count, you might add that count also to the pauses. As you continue with this breath, now 4 parts to each cycle. Notice if you're getting competitive, if you're forcing things. Notice if the face becomes tense, the jaw, the muscles around your eyes, the forehead. And if any of that is happening, maybe it's a sign that you need to back off a bit and find that place where you're still intentionally finding those 4 parts, but you're not making this experience stressful or too effortful. And staying with that 4-part breath for a few more cycles. And then you can let go of that 4-part breath. Just take a moment here. Maybe you notice the inhales now flowing into the exhales and the exhales flowing into the inhales. And then with your eyes closed or open, lower the chin towards your chest. And we'll find some movement through the neck. Guide the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then come back, chin to chest. And the left ear towards the left shoulder. And continue moving like that from side to side a few times at your own pace. As the ear drops towards the shoulder, you might find that the chin can lift a bit more towards the ceiling. Maybe you gaze up. And only if it's comfortable for your neck, you might take the back of the head back a bit more and the chin lifting up as if you were trying to complete a full circle. And if completing a full circle feels right, feels good, go there. Or you could do kind of like a 3/4 circle or stay with a half circle. And we'll take one more each side. And then we'll meet with the chin back towards the chest, pausing here. Take a moment to draw your shoulders down and back a bit. And then gently lift your chin, looking forward, eyes open if you still had them closed, and then a twist towards the right. Right hand slides behind us and left hand crosses over. Give a little press through the back hand, a little pull with your front hand. Chest is broad, spine is lifted. Maybe a little bit more space in the waist. And then when you're ready, come back through center, and same thing to the other side. Left hand behind us, right hand crosses over. Maybe you're pulling a bit on your left leg with your right hand. You're pushing a bit into the floor with your left. Shoulders down, spine a bit longer. Take another breath in. And out. As you inhale, return through center. Sweep your arms wide and up. And then on your exhale, palms out and arms down by your side, maybe all the way to the floor. Inhale, palms up, arms lift. Exhale again, palms out and arms lower. Another one. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, arms lower. With your next inhale, arms will lift. Interlace your fingers overhead and palms towards the ceiling, stretch up. Full inhale. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows and bring the hands to the back of the neck. Take your elbows back as you open up through your chest. You might look up. And then on your exhale, elbow to elbow in front of us as we round the spine. Inhale again, we open, broaden the chest. Exhale, we round. Another one, inhale, open. And exhale, round. With your next inhale, come all the way up, extend your arms, and on your exhale, side bend to the right. Come back through center, breathing in, and take it over to the left. Come back through center, inhale, again to the right. This time pausing here, bend that top elbow, hand to the back of the head, and we're going to inhale to open up, looking up if that's comfortable, and exhale, left elbow towards right thigh, we're turning to face the floor. Inhale again, we open. Exhale, and we lower. Another one, breathing in. And breathing out. On the inhale, we'll come all the way up, reaching those arms tall. And as we exhale, let's find it on this other side. Left arm down and reach up and over. Right elbow bends, hand to the back of the head. Take an inhale to open up, feel that stretch right side. And then on your exhale, right elbow towards left thigh. Inhale, open. Exhale and lower. Another one. As you inhale, return through center. You can extend your arms overhead. And on your exhale, release your arms down. Maybe with using your hands or not, switch the legs. If you were sitting cross-legged or any other asymmetrical way. And then find your sit bones again well planted. Now your hands are going to rest on your thighs and we're going to send the elbows back. So bend your elbows, draw them back, think cow spine, chest forward. And then exhale, keep your hands where they are, but extend through your arms as you round the back body. You were leaning back. And then again, pull yourself forward, inhale. Shoulder blades come closer, that chest pops forward. Exhale, hide your chest, make space in the back body. Again, inhale, come forward. And exhale, round back, nice. As you inhale, neutral spine, again, sweep your arms overhead. And on your exhale, a twist towards the right. And pause here, take a full breath in. And out. As you inhale, return through center. And on your exhale, twist left. And stay for a breath. And then as you inhale, come back through center, reaching those arms up. And on your exhale, bring hands to your heart. Interlace your fingers here in front of your chest, and we're going to stir the pot. Okay, so if your legs are close to you, well, it's a different experience. So let's see. So from here, take a full inhale, lengthen the spine. And then on your exhale, turn over your right thigh, extend your arms. So you're going beyond that right knee. Keep your left sit bone well planted. And then take yourself over to the left side. Reaching, 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 reaching. And then draw it in. Bring the torso all the way up over the hips. And then again, start over the right thigh. Stir, 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 stir. Left. And bring it back in. And one more in this direction. Reach. Left. And draw it back in. All right, and now we'll go in the opposite direction, 3. So going over that left leg, taking it forward to the right, and then bringing it in. And then 2 more. And see how far you can reach here, getting that stretch through the back body. And draw it in. And one more time. Reach. Reach, 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 reach. And bring it back in. Nice job. Reach your arms wide and up. Inhale. And as you exhale, side bend. Inhale, come back through center. And exhale, other side. Inhale, come back through center. Find the interlace of your fingers opposite to what you did earlier. Palms towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows and bring the hands to the back of the head. We inhale, we open up the chest. We exhale, elbow to elbow in front of us. Round the spine. Inhale again, open. Exhale, left elbow, right thigh. Inhale, open. Right elbow, left thigh. One more of each. Open. Forward, exhale. Inhale, open. Left elbow, right thigh. Inhale, open. And last one. Right elbow, left thigh. Come back through center, extend your arms, and on your exhale, make your way to table pose. I will meet you there, planting hands, planting knees, and maybe giving the feet a little tap against the ground, maybe some rotation through your ankles. Maybe the soles of the feet get a stretch. You tuck your toes, you send your sit bones towards the heels, and you come back. So a little free movement here. You might also find some side bends, kind of dropping the hips towards one side as you look to the other side. And you could also do those regular cows and cats. And take a moment just to feel your hands planted, and remember to press a little bit more through the finger pads as if you were trying to make a hand print. Then the base of your fingers, even the weight between the pinky side and the thumb side. About 3 to 5 more breaths here. And then we'll make our way to a neutral spine, and we'll float that left knee, and we'll begin to rotate that left hip. And then switch direction. And then bring that left knee into the chest, round your spine. Maybe here tuck your right toes, maybe float your right knee, breathing in, breathing out. Another one. A little strength popping in here. Well, a little or a lot, shall we say. Take another breath. If your right knee was floating, bring it back down, and then extend your left leg all the way out behind you. On your exhale, left foot over to the right side and tap the floor. Inhale, bring it back through center, and now over to the left, any amount, and tap. Inhale, back through center, and to the right, and center, and over to the left. We'll do one more, back through center, to the right, back through center, and to the left. On your inhale, bring it back through center, and as you exhale, return that left knee to the ground. Take an inhale, cow pose, and an exhale, cat. Find your neutral spine. Again, press through the finger pads, base of your fingers, those spider hands. We're going to float the right knee and find some rotations through the right hip. Slow it down. No rush here. Breathe. Switch direction. A little slower. And then bring that right knee into your chest, round your spine. Tuck your left toes, maybe left knee floats. Push the foot away with those hands. Shoulder blades are moving away from one another. Another breath in. On the exhale, lower that left knee if it lifted. Right leg extends behind you. And then take it over to the left side, tap the floor. Inhale back through center, over to the right. Center, left. Center and right. One more of each. Bring that right leg back through center and then lower that right knee, coming back into table pose. Take a cow and a cat. Tuck your back toes. Well, tuck your toes. And then come onto the balls of the feet. Lift your knees and downward facing dog. Drop the head. Look under your left armpit. Look under your right. Look towards your belly. And then look beyond your fingers and take your feet to the top of the mat. Forward fold on your exhale. A nice bend in the knees. You can grab opposite elbows. Let the head be heavy here. Maybe your thighs are a bit of a shelf for your torso. Another breath. And then release your elbows, head and arms heavy as we rise all the way up to stand, meeting in mountain pose. Maybe your shoulders get a roll. Crown of the head reaches up. Maybe you shift your weight forward and back a few times and feel your toes, spread them. And then find that stillness and we'll sweep those arms overhead. Inhale. On the exhale, side bend. Back through center and to the other side. Back through center, one more of each to the right. And center and left. As you inhale, come back through center, interlace your fingers again, palms towards the ceiling, give yourself a stretch, breath in. And then as you exhale, sweep the arms behind you, interlace them at the lower back. Find a squeeze through your shoulder blades, drawing the fronts of the shoulders back, and then extend your arms towards the floor. You could stay here, or you can explore sending your hands away from you, keeping your arms extended, and then bringing the hands back towards you without shifting your spine, so spine stays in the same position. Nice. And another one. And then with your next inhale, release that, reaching those arms up. And on your exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthening. And on your exhale, again, fold, drop the head. Two more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, half lift. And on your exhale, plant your hands and step back, downward facing dog. Full breath in here. And full breath out. Another one. With your next inhale, come out into a plank pose, shoulders over wrists. And on your exhale, return to downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Another one. Inhale, plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here. Full breath out. This time on your inhale, walk your hands towards your feet. And as you exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise into chair pose. And exhale, bring hands to your heart. A bit more weight into your heels, lighten up on your toes, maybe lift them. Shoulders down, maybe bring the shoulder blades a bit closer together. And then draw your lower ribs gently down and in. Find some ease in the face. Another breath. And then as you breathe in, straighten through the legs, reach your arms tall. On your exhale, side bend. Come back through center, inhale. And take it to the other side, exhale. Come back through center, inhale. On your exhale, bring hands to your hips. We're going to make our way to the top of the mat with some pyramid poses. So when you're ready, float that left knee up. Extend, left leg, and I'll do the right. So left leg up, extend your left leg, and then plant your left foot. We've got that triangle shape with the legs, a little micro bend through the front knee, both feet well planted. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, hinge from your hips forward and down. Think about your tailbone reaching back and the crown of the head reaching forward. You could keep your hands where they are, or you could extend your arms by your side with your palms facing down. Shoulders moving away from the ears, finding kind of that flat back. Nice job. Another breath in. And out. With your next inhale, hands come back to hips, a little bend into that front knee as you lift the torso. Bring more weight into your left leg as you float your right knee forward in front of you. Extend your right leg, and then plant your right foot slowly with control. Once that right foot is planted, take that breath in. And then again, find that hinge from your hips, forward and down over that front leg. Nice. Keep pressing through that front foot, and maybe arms by your side. You might lengthen a bit more the back of the neck, so you're looking straight down at the floor. Breath in. And breath out. As you inhale, hands back to hips, little bend through the front knee as your torso lifts. And then float that left knee forward and plant your left foot next to the right mountain. Sweep your arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, side bend. Come back through center and other side. Back through center and forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank pose. And exhale to down dog. 2 more times. Whole inhale to take you into plank, and your whole exhale takes you into down dog. So you might go slower than you think. We'll meet back in downward facing dog for a full breath in and out. And then use your next inhale to walk your feet towards your hands, this time top of the mat, forward fold, exhale. Bend the knees and rise into chair, inhale. And exhale, bring hands to your heart. So you can take your chair pose as a little bit of a pause, maybe even a rest. Even if your legs are working hard here, can some other parts of the body be at ease, a bit more rested, more relaxed. Another breath. And then use your next inhale to push the floor away, straighten legs, reach your arms tall, side bend, exhale. Come back through center, breath in. And over to the other side. Back through center, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your heels. And as you exhale, lower your knees to the mat. We're meeting in a table pose, your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Extend your left leg out behind you. Start with your toes resting on the ground and then walk your right fingers forward with your fingers resting on the ground. Take a moment to spread your shoulder blades, to draw your lower ribs gently in. Find a little squeeze through the left glute and see if your left toes can float off the ground. Connect your right arm bone to the shoulder and then see if your right fingers can leave the ground. Everything else stays the same. There might be some wobbles, but those are you negotiating the balance, the space. The breath is happening, so there is movement there too. Another breath in. Another breath out. Last one here, inhale. As you exhale, keep your right arm where it is, but lower your left knee under your hip. And then lower your right hand under your shoulder. Take an inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Find again that neutral spine, and we'll do the same on the other side. Right leg extends, toes resting down. Left hand reaches forward, fingers resting down. Again, before you lift, find that center body, that stability, that spread of the shoulder blades, that push through your right hand, that connection of your left knee, shin, top of the foot. And then see If that right foot can lift, if those left fingers can lift. Breathing here. One more inhale. Left arm stays exactly where it is. We're just lowering that right knee down under the right hip. And then we're lowering that left hand under the left shoulder. Inhale, find cow. And on your exhale, cat pose, but walk your hands in and come onto your fingertips. Find some extra space between the shoulder blades and the back of the neck. Another breath in and out. And then return onto your hands, tuck your toes and downward facing dog, hips up and back. Extra push off the floor away, heels heavy. Notice that big stretch through the whole back line of the body. Another breath. And then once again, walk your hands towards your feet, coming to the back of the mat and forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, rise, chair pose. And exhale, hands through heart. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to a side bend. Inhale back through center. Other side, exhale. Inhale, center. On your exhale, again, hands to the hips. We're finding those pyramid poses once again. So ground through your left foot, right knee rises. Extend that right leg. Slowly lower that right foot. Once planted, take that full breath in. Exhale, hinge from your hips forward and down. Again, same option as before, maybe arms reaching back. Maybe if you're up for a little bit more challenge, try not to change the spine, this upper body, nice and stable. Your arms might come out into cactus arms by your ears, or you might reach your arms all the way forward. This loads quite a bit the spine, the back body. So only do it if you're able to keep that neutral spine, okay? Cactus arms can be plenty, or arms by your side. One more breath. And then hands return to hips. Add that extra bend through the front knee as you lift your torso. And then bring that left knee forward. Extend that left leg. Slowly plant that left foot. Take a breath in, lengthen. Hinge, exhale. And again, play with the arm position here. And if you are taking the arms or cactus or forward, really engage through the legs. So really think about pushing the floor away. A lot of times kind of pushing a bit more through the base of the big toe of the front foot can give you a bit more stability through that front leg. Grounding through the back heel can also give you that stability, that ground. One more breath. And then hands return, bend into that front knee, lift the torso, and then bring that right foot forward and plant your right foot next to the left. Mountain pose. Take your arms up, inhale. Exhale, side bend. Come back through center. Other side. Come back through center. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale to downward facing dog. inhale, come out into plank pose. Okay, I'm going to add something, so something to play with. If you'd like, from your plank, keep it as is. See if you can float your left foot just off the ground. Don't change, try not to change anything else. And then return left foot to the ground. And then see if you can float your right foot off the ground. And return it. And then downward facing dog, up and back. Drop the head, maybe look side to side, take a breath in. Out. One more here. With your next inhale, lift your heels, and on your exhale, lower your knees to the mat, back to your table pose, hands on the shoulders. We're going to find that balance one more time. So as you're ready, your left leg extends behind you. Maybe now it stays lifted. Your right arm reaches forward. And then once you've got this, once you've got the balance here, same things apply as before. But see if you can kind of hug the femur bone, the left femur bone into the hip. And then the right arm bone into the shoulder. Nice. Breath in. Breath out. One more. I like to have my palm facing in, thumb pointing up. That's kind of the more neutral for the shoulder, so might help here. And then when you're ready, lowering both hand and knee all the way down. Cow and cat in between. And then again, that neutral spine, and we'll take it to the other side. Right leg extends. Left arm reaches. And then again, make a point of drawing in femur bone, that thigh bone, right side, into the right hip. So you'll find a bit more engagement through your right glute also. And also through the front of the hip and the core, kind of that center body. And then do the same with the arm bone, upper arm bone into the shoulder. So you're drawing your shoulder blade kind of back a bit. And even maybe, back towards the back ribs, something like that. And see how it feels. Another breath. And then as you're ready, with control, lowering knee and hand, and you're back in your table. Take a cow pose. And then on your exhale, round your spine, take your sit bones all the way towards your heels, child's pose. If your arms are in front of you, you can bring the palms of the hands together, the thumbs point up, and then bend your elbows and draw the thumbs towards the back of your head. You could do this with your elbows on the ground, or you could do it with your elbows on a block. That might be nice too. It's going to give you a stretch around the armpits and the back of the arm, the triceps. You might also feel it around the bottom part of your shoulder blades, especially if you take a deep breath in and then let it go, exhale. All right, and since we've been working kind of in those planks and those balancing table kind of poses, let's try a forearm plank. So we're going to plant those forearms and kind of bring them forward, lift your hips, and you could start kind of in a longish forearm table pose, so your knees still down. elbows more or less on the shoulders. You can choose to do forearms parallel, palms down, or you could bring the palms together, interlacing your fingers, so making kind of a triangle shape with your forearms. And then from here, we're going to extend one leg, come onto the ball of the foot, and then try extending the other leg onto the ball of the foot. Now in your forearm plank, you're working on keeping your hips more or less in line with your shoulders, so it's not hips up, it's hips down. And here you can think about your tailbone tucking. Now if both knees up is a bit too strenuous for now, do one knee down, play around here, and then the other knee down and play around here. Few breaths, your exploration coming in and out of it. And then push the floor away with your forearms. So think about making space between your chest and the floor here. We'll give it about 3 more breaths. And then when you've had enough, lower the knees and return to your child's pose. This time it might be nice to bring the arms by your side, your palms facing up, kind of wrapping your hands towards your feet. And again, if you had your block, your head on the block might be nice too. Open mouth, exhale, let that forearm plank go. It happened, it's done with. Let it go physically and let it go mentally. One more breath. And with your next inhale, begin to lift the spine. And we'll make our way into a seat. So your feet could go to one side, or maybe your hands come onto blocks. You roll onto the balls of the feet. You walk your feet through your hands to find a seat. That wasn't very gracious. All right, once your legs are in front of you, you might scoot forward, and we're coming all the way onto our backs. Your arms might reach in front. Take a full breath in. And then on your exhale, slowly let yourself lower back, mid back, upper back, and the back of your head all the way down. And once you are down, bring the feet a bit closer to your sit bones. Bring your arms by your side. And lifting into a bridge pose, pressing into the floor as you lift your hips. Option to stay, option to lift and lower, option to scoot your shoulder blades underneath you, maybe interlacing your hands. Finding not only the stretch through the front of the hips, the belly, but also through the fronts of your shoulders. And then if you push into the floor with the heels of the feet, kind of push down and forward, you might find a stretch through the back of your neck. Give your toes a little wiggle. Another breath. And then release your hands if you had them interlaced, and slowly lower your hips all the way down. Bring the right knee into your chest and give it a squeeze. Stay or lift the forehead towards the knee. And then release. Bring the left knee into your chest, give it a squeeze. And same thing here. You could stay head down, or maybe the head draws towards the knee. The shoulders relaxed. Another breath. And then we'll release, head down, and bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rocking, lifting and lowering the sacrum a few times. And then plant your sacrum, take your arms out into a T, and then take your knees over to the left side without lowering them all the way to the floor. Your chest is still facing up towards the ceiling. And then bring your knees back up. And then take them over to the right side, but don't let them drop all the way to the floor. And then again, come back. And again, left. And bring them back. And to the right. And then come back through center, one more each side. And then the next time that you come through center, cross your right thigh over the left thigh. And then hug those knees in. You could stay here, or you could send your feet away from one another. You could even bring your hands around your shins or ankles and use your hands to pull your feet away from each other. And then if you had that, release it, unwind the legs, and now your left thigh over the right, crossing. And then think about your feet moving apart. Maybe you use your hands to help that happen a little bit more. If it feels good, it's quite the stretch outer hip, glute area. And then unwind the legs, release the feet to the ground, bring them a bit wide, the knees still bent, but then let the knees rest in against one another. Your hands to your belly, you could do one hand kind of lower belly, the other hand more towards the lower ribs. And then take a moment to kind of situate your back body. So you might tilt the pelvis forward and back a few times, see where the lower back feels most comfortable. Then you might wiggle your shoulder blades a little bit underneath you to also find the right placement for them. And then you might lengthen through the back of your neck. The chin might come a bit closer to your chest. Once you've found that the position that feels most comfortable, concentrate on the breathing and the movement of your breath under your hands. And as the mind begins to go other places, can you bring it back to this breathing that's happening in the body, under your hands, the movement, the sound of your breath. Notice if your mind is still at your breath. Notice if other thoughts, or if thoughts in general are floating by. Notice if you're being taken away with those thoughts. And the practice is actually just noticing this and then making a choice and choosing to stay, going along with the thoughts, choosing to come back to the breath. And then as you feel ready, make your way into Shavasana. Maybe you're staying right here as you are. Maybe there's a different position that you prefer. And now we are letting go of the breath. And we are letting our mind do whatever it wants to do. We are letting those thoughts flow in and out. We're giving ourselves this moment of rest, of pause. And for the next few minutes, nothing else to do, Shavasana. As always, if you'd like to take a longer Shavasana, feel free to stay. If not, notice your breath happening. Make it maybe a bit more obvious. And then to the movement of your breath, add a little bit more, maybe your fingers, your toes, your ankles, your wrists. Any movement that feels good, right to you. Taking your time. And then eventually finding your way into a seat, and we'll meet there to end practice. You might choose to rest your hands in your lap or bring your hands to your chest. Maybe your eyes stay closed. Maybe give yourself a breath in. Then open mouth, exhale. We take this moment to acknowledge the practice itself. We then acknowledge ourselves for our own practice. We'll remember and acknowledge all those who have practiced with us. We acknowledge all those who have made it possible. And we end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.